Keep forgetting to do that part. Okay. All right. So our chat will be recorded, and it has resources there. This video will be recorded. It'll be all available for you on our YouTube channel. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open a new tab. Okay. You can open a new tab. Be sure you don't hit X on our meeting tab. You can have it open and listen to me as we go, or you can watch, and I'll pause here in a minute and let you follow or copy after I give you a few instructions. I'm going to open a new tab. Over here on the right, I'm already signed into my ECSD Google account. You can see my little avatar here. When I hover over it, you can see that it's amanda.weber@ecsd.school. It is going to be imperative that that's the account you're signed in on. If your students have any issues logging in, it's going to be probably going to be that they're not using the right account. So if they're borrowing a parent's device, it's going to try to use their parent's email. They're going to have to be signed in to their Gmail account. So when I click that little icon, maybe, there it goes. When I click that, you can see there's my personal account, there's my school account. What might have to happen, and you can advise your students on this, is they might have to click this sign out of all of the accounts, close the browser, open it again, and sign in strictly with their ECSD account first. If they are telling you, or parents are telling you, that they're saying that the Google Classroom code you gave them is invalid, that's the error message that Google gives them when they're trying to use an outside domain. Our domain will only allow @ECSD school accounts to access our Google Classrooms. Okay, so if any students are accidentally using parent emails, or parents are trying to log into the Google Classroom, they are not going to be allowed. It has to say @ECSD.school. Okay, and so just know that that invalid code error message pops up whenever it's an outside account. Okay, so now that I'm signed in and all of that's good, I'm going to hit my waffle, the app selector right here, and Google Classroom is right here. Okay, I'm going to have a lot of classrooms pop up. You can see these right here. If it has a little circle icon and somebody else's picture, that's going to be a Google Classroom that I'm a student in. Okay, so these other ones where it's just the bar going across the top, those are Google Classrooms where I'm the teacher. Okay, and so this being our possibly your first time messing with this, you're going to come up to the check mark, plus mark up here. You're going to create a class. Okay, it's going to pull it up. You have to give it a class name. You don't have to fill out all this extra section, subject, room. I mean, most of the time, this is probably going to be your, kitchen, dining room, your home office, however, wherever you're at that you're actually, running this right now. The class name is going to be important because if you are perhaps a secondary, we're going to probably recommend that you have a Google Classroom for each period just to help you manage and organize your students better. It is teacher choice on this. If you want to have one Google Classroom and all of your class periods in there, that is on you. You can do that too, whatever works for you. But you do want to be sure that the name signifies whatever it is you're showing. So if you want to do first period, well, helps if you spell it right. First period, social studies, or whatever it is you're going to do, be sure that it's on there, because when the students go into their Google Classroom, if they are a secondary student, they're going to have all these different classrooms going as well. So they want to be able to know which one they're supposed to be clicking on, okay? So after you type it in, we're going to hit create. And I'm sure Google Classroom is kind of overflooded with, however you want to say that. I can't do words today, with people creating accounts and things like that. So it might be a little laggy, a little slow. All right. So this first area where it takes you to when you click on a classroom is the stream. Okay. And it has the title of it, the class right here, that class code that you've been giving students. If you've already been trying to do that, that's where that class code will be. If you need to select a different theme, that option's right there. And you can pick, a nice little handy theme that they already have in there. Okay. And then this is where class announcements go. I like to use this strictly for announcements. Hey guys, how are you doing? Be sure to check in on this assignment. It's going to be due Friday. And that way it keeps it kind of organized. In the settings we're going to look at here in a minute, you can have it where students can post and comment and things like that. And so depending on what's going to work for you, we'll show you those options here in just a second. But this is like kind of like your Facebook stream. When you start posting classwork and things like that, it will post here as well, like where they can see it, and as like a Facebook stream where it keeps it in order of how it's posted. That's what it'll be showing right there. We're also going to show you the Classwork tab, which keeps it a whole lot more organized than that. So students can, you can direct students to go to the stream and find their assignments, but it might be more beneficial and more organized if you tell them after they get into the stream to click the Classwork tab. Okay. So I'm going to pause for a minute, give everybody a second to breathe and relax and make sure like you've had a chance to click and create a classroom. And that way here in a minute, as we go through the assignment stuff, that y'all can follow along. Okay. Any questions in the chat that I need to go over yet? Okay. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to jump back over. So what I'm going to do from the stream, I'm going to jump over to the People tab real quick. Okay. So here's where I am because I'm listed as a teacher. Please be careful not to add students in this section. Okay. It will get messy very quickly if you have teachers as students. Here's where you can add students. So if you're having that problem where they're saying invalid code, they can't get added in, you can just come in and add the students in as well. What you do, you just come click the little plus mark. It's going to give you an option to start typing in a name. So I'm going to have Mandy be one of my students. So I start typing in her name. And of course, I've already shared a lot of stuff with her. So she's going to pop right up at the top. When searching for students, you can put in their name and it will start pulling up a list. And as you saw when I started typing in names here, it's got their name below it because they're a teacher. If it has an ID number below it, it's going to be a student. So that way you can differentiate because students have their ID number at ECSD school and teachers will have their name first dot last at ECSD school. So you can differentiate from who's from where. So you can just type in that student's name, select that student and hit invite. And then here in a minute, we'll switch over and you can see a student view and Mandy will be our student and you can see how it looks on their end whenever they click in. So it says it's invited. And when she goes in and logs in, goes to Google Classroom, instead of seeing that plus mark and all of that stuff, like, oh, she'll still see the plus mark and everything. That's where they would click right here and join a class. And that's where they would put that code in. But she's automatically going to have it right here. And it's going to say accept invite. And that way she can just click that and go straight into the classroom. Okay. And she'll show that here in just a second. Okay. So one of the things we talked about a while ago was in the settings. I'm going to scroll down. Here's your class code. If you do have any issues with that and you do need to reset it, there's a reset option right here. Here's that stream section where students can post and comment. So depending on what you want students to do, okay, or I mean, you might leave it open and if it becomes a problem, they can't handle it, you can come in here and change it later, okay? So you can have it where students can post and comment in the stream section. You can have it where students can only comment. So say I go in there and I post, hey guys, how's it going? Do you have any questions? They can comment back and have class comments going. Or you can change it to only teachers can post and comment. Okay, and this will just be for the class comment section. Here in a minute, when we show you the student view, you'll see where the student can still private comment and send stuff to you. It just won't be visible to the whole class. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. There's some other options you can check out through there. If you, we're not going to cover all of them. We definitely wouldn't have time to cover all of them, but that's where all of your options are. If you change anything, the save button is up here. I didn't change anything, so I'm going to leave it the same and just hit my X. Okay. We're going to jump over to the Classwork tab. Okay. And right here on the Classwork tab is where, sorry. Sorry. All right, on the Classwork tab, this is where you're going to be able to start creating the assignments. And then when the student, here in the minute, we'll see the student view. We'll show you how much more organized it is versus the stream. Okay, so on the create section right here, you can create assignments. You can create quiz assignments, which is automatically going to embed a Google form in there. We've got resources on our remote learning website that show you how to use forms, and we'll be getting more information out on that. But if you're already ready for that, it's an option there. Here's where you can ask questions, post materials, and reuse posts. The first one we're going to look at is creating the topics. So depending on what grade level you are and what you're serving with your students, topics can be different, okay? So if you are secondary and you're only covering one subject, you might want to organize yours by week, okay? So you could come in and say week 1 and you put the dates that we're going to be in for that, okay? If you are elementary and you're going to be covering all the subjects, okay, you can come in and hit create and create topics, and you might have your science section or science topic, excuse me. You might have your math section and things like that where you separate it out by subject, okay? And again, teacher choice on this, because even if you are elementary and you're self-contained and you're going to be teaching everything, you can do the week feature as well, and go in and on your assignments, your assignment titles can be organized by subject. Okay, and we'll talk about that some more here in just a second. Okay, but if you didn't notice that too, you can rearrange the topics as you need to. So say I had my math or my week 1 down here. Maybe I want to move it up so that that's the first thing the students see. You can drag and drop and reorganize your topics however you want to. You can also use the 3 dots over here, the hot dog button. You can click on that and it will give you some options, and one of them is to move it up. Okay, you can also click on, move things down and reorganize it that way as well. Okay. After you've created topics over here, you can see that the topics are organized and linked. So if I just want to see just what's in week 1, I can click in and see just what's in week 1 as soon as I have stuff posted there. Okay. Then you can click back to all topics and go back to this little summary page of your classwork. Okay. So that's creating a topic. I'm going to come back up here, and now I'm going to create a question just so you can see what the different options are that you have. It's going to pop it up into a little different window for you to create your question. And if you notice, it has a different icon than the assignments and the quizzes and things like that. So here you can post a question. Okay. If you need any instructions, so you can have it where answer and reply to friends. Okay. If you want to attach anything, you can add things from your Google Drive. You can attach links. So maybe you want them to read an online article and then answer a question about it. You can attach files that you have on your computer. If you need to attach a PDF that you want them to read or something, you can attach YouTube videos and have them watch a YouTube video and then comment and answer a question on there as well. Be sure you vet any YouTube video that you're sending to students. Okay. You can change it to where it's a multiple choice or a short answer, depending on what you're wanting to do. Over here on the right side are some of the options you want to be sure you check out. Who are you assigning it for? So say you're signing it for the class that we're in, first period, social studies. You can, and this is a nice feature if you're doing multiple classrooms for your different periods, you can select multiple classes to assign this to. Once you select multiple classes, it's going to assign it to all the students in that class. If you only choose one class, it will actually let you go in and select different students. So like if you are differentiating and that student's not getting that assignment, or maybe this is a review assignment because they need extra help, you can pick and choose which students within one class. And you can also, if you want to just assign it to multiple classes and then go in and edit that in each class, you can do that as well. Okay, so that's your options on assigning per classes and per students. Points right here, you can decide if you're going to have it as an ungraded assignment, or if you're going to just say maybe do 5 assignments this week and each one's worth 20 points. So you can decide what kind of point value you want to get. Due dates are very nice to include and probably going to be very critical with this upcoming remote learning that we're doing here. You can put due dates in. If you want, you can even click in and add, times to be super specific as well. Okay. And then right here is where it will let you select which topic this is going under. So you can, if this is going in your math, your science, your week 1, your week 2, or if you haven't created the topic, you can also hit create topic and add it in there as well. Okay. And then right here, the nice thing that happens on the question, whenever you're creating it this way, you can decide if you want students to reply to each other, which is what I said in my instructions. And so you can uncheck that if you don't want them to be able to reply to each other. And then the other thing is the students will not be able to see anybody else's answers until they've answered. Okay. So depending on what you're wanting to do, you can turn it off or on for the student to be able to edit it. So they could submit their answer, see their friends' answers, and go, whoa, I totally messed up. I need to go edit and fix my question. If you turn on that they can edit. Otherwise, you won't be able to see any changes that they make. You won't see like version 1, version 2 kind of a thing. So you just, as a teacher, get to decide how you want to do that. Okay. So decide on what options you want here. And then up here at the top, you have some options you can ask, and it is immediately going to post into the Google Classroom, and the students, if they have their notifications on, will get notified that you've posted in the classroom. The other options you have right here in this drop down, you can discard it, of course. You can save the draft. Say you're not ready to post it, you got to go find the YouTube video, or the PDF's not working right, something. You can save it and come back to it later, or you can also schedule it. So if this isn't going until week 1, maybe that's when you want it to post, is 8 a.m. on the 23rd. And then you can hit schedule. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and just hit ask so that it's up here in a minute when Mandy joins and we're looking at the student view. Okay. So that's the question. Another option, like I said, I'm going to skip the quiz for now because Google Forms is a whole thing on its own. I'm going to look at material. So right here with material, this could be if you're wanting to share a link to a website or something that you're going to be using more often. We've been doing a lot of Flipgrid. So maybe you want Flipgrid just to be listed there as a material for them to get to. Okay, you just title it, add a description if you want to. You can paste the link in here, or you can hit add and actually paste the link here, and it'll have it where it's right there. I'm not going to put a real Flipgrid in, but let's just do too many tabs again. Let's just do the generic Flipgrid website. And so you can see it adds it nice. It gives a little thumbnail for what it looks like when you add a link in. Okay. So again, in the material section over here listed, you can choose which test or classes it's going to be in. You can choose which students if you do individual classes, and you can choose which topic this is going in. You're seeing other topics pull up because on the other classes that I've selected, there were different topics. So it's nice to keep your topics consistent too if you're using multiple classrooms. Okay. So again, same options. I can post immediately. I can schedule, save the draft, discard the draft. But I'm going to go ahead and hit post so that, again, here in a minute, we'll have a student view and you'll get to see. Okay. The other thing, once you have multiple assignments going on in here, you can arrange them however you want. So maybe you want to be sure that they're doing the how are you doing today question first, and then the flip grid. So you can drag and drop and move that around as needed. Okay, and then we're going to do one last create. Well, I lied. We'll do two more. There's a reuse post one. So say you forgot to include it in one of your classrooms, and you're like, dang, I forgot to click that check mark. What you can do is go to that classroom, click on create and reuse post. It's going to pull up all the classrooms you have open and available as a teacher. You can go to whichever classroom it is that you're wanting to pull it from, and then you can hit click on it. I suggest keeping this checked to create new copies of all attachments, just to make sure you're not messing up any of your templates or anything. And then hit reuse. And it's going to pull up the same information you had it in on the other classroom that you were using it on. And then that way you can come in, and if you need to edit, change the due date, change any of the details of it, you can. So I'm just going to hit the drop down and discard this one. I was just wanting to show you the reuse post function. Okay. And then on the last one on create is assignment. So I'm going to click assignment. Right here again is where you would have a title. You can add in your instructions. Down here at the bottom, if you want to add anything from your drive, from your link, file, YouTube, any of those options are still there. Create is where you can, if you haven't already made a Google Doc or slide that you want to include, you can hit that right there and it will create the Google Doc, let you open it up right from the Google Classroom, where you can come in and, why did it jump? Let me click on it again. Sorry, I think it's my mouse. I think the battery's dying in it. All right, so here's where you would put practice assignment. And this is where you could, if you wanted to put a table or pictures or whatever information you want your students to have access to here, you can put it in. Okay. All right, and so once you have, here in a minute, this will update that it's changed to practice assignment, since that's what I changed it to here. But, and all that will sync up because that's how awesome Google is. Over here on the right are some options you need to be sure you pay attention to depending on what you're wanting your students to do. Okay, so the first thing is students can view file. Okay, pretty basic. They're only going to be able to see this if you edit it. It should keep up with the edits and things like that, keep it live, but they're only going to be able to view it. Okay, students can edit the file. So if you choose it this way, the students are going to have rights to go in, click, move, change, add, delete, any of that kind of stuff to that specific file. Depending on what you're wanting to do, and in a situation that we're in with this remote learning, I don't know that you're going to want to choose that option. Okay. The last one is make a copy for each student. And that tends to be where I went a lot of times on what we were working on. That way it's like kind of walking down to the copy machine, making your 25 copies for that class, and each student is going to get a copy of what you created right here that they can edit. If they delete it, there's a way for them to retrieve it, but it's not going to delete any of your stuff. It's not going to delete any of the other students' information. Okay. So that's a very important part to be sure you're looking at right there. Okay. Same buttons over here, assigning it for class, assigning it for students, grades, due dates, topics, which I'm actually not going to put it in a topic so I can show y'all something here in a second. Rubrics is brand new, okay, where you can actually come in, create a rubric, reuse rubrics, and import them from sheets. And again, like I said, this is brand new. We haven't played with this very much, but it's pretty user-friendly, and we're just not going to have the time to go into it right here. But if you want to go in and before Monday, play around and create a rubric and see how it looks, there's your option there. And then they also have a new originality report where it will actually help you look for plagiarism. So if this is a writing assignment kind of a thing, essays, kind of thing going on, you can check that and click learn more and get some more details on how to use that. But they just released that very recently and we haven't played with it much. Okay. Same options up here. You can schedule it, save it, discard it. I'm going to go ahead and assign it. So it'll pop up here in just a second for Mandy whenever we switch to our student view. Maybe there it goes. All right. So on purpose, I didn't assign that for a topic, but if you're doing it, you assign it, you come back to your classwork stream and it's not where you want it to be. Again, dragging, dropping is awesome on this. So you can drag it and drop it and put it wherever it is that you need for it to be. Okay. All right. So we went over a lot in stream and classwork and in people. We'll get to grades here at the end. I'm going to jump back over. No questions? We're all good. All right. So I'm going to jump over and let Mandy take over and show you what it's going to look like on the student. Now that I've assigned all that, she's going to show you how it looks for the invite and all of that. So you can kind of see what they're seeing. And maybe that way, if parents are contacting you, you are able to help them out a little bit. And if not, please have the parents contact you and then you get a hold of your specialist. You can call up here. Please don't give parents our number. We're kind of a small team and we want to focus on helping the teachers as much as we can. And if we have parents ringing, we're not going to be able to focus on that. I do know that they're trying to figure out a way to get a parent help desk kind of the number, but that's in the works. So as soon as we have that, we'll let you know on that part. I'm going to let Mandy get over. Okay. On the plagiarism thing, it's brand new. We haven't got to play with it very much. So we'll have to look and wait on that part because we haven't got to use it. Like I said, I think it was just this past week or so that they added that in. So we'll get more information on that. But I think that Learn More tab might also give you that kind of information. Okay. Anyways, but yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sweet. Thank you, Elena. I appreciate that. Okay, so here's my view of the classroom. Just like Amanda said, this shows that she's teaching this class. So I'm gonna join. So this is what your parents, this is what your students will see when they go to classroom.google.com. So they'll click join. Might take a hot second for it to show up. So you can see that Amanda had 4 tabs. I only have 3 as a student. So I can see all of her stream posts from here. She did allow class comments, so I could respond back to her. Oops, forgot to click send. All right, and then Amanda did allow us to do the assignments to go on this stream. And so as I click on even this from this stream, I can see immediately over here the assignment that I'm supposed to be working on from here. From the Classwork tab, this is where I can see that she has it topicked out for me. So for this practice, I can click on it and open this document. And so this, again, I'm a student in her classroom, so I am able to start typing whatever I need to. I can insert images from my computer, even from my if I have a device that has the camera feature. So I can even insert an image if I wanted to have a picture to submit to my teacher. I can turn that feature in here from Google Docs, so I don't necessarily have to get outside of it, but I can submit that work inside of here. It will give me a note. Do I want to turn in this work? Well, yes, highly encourage your students to click turn it in twice. So turn it in once over here and then once to make sure that it is submitted. And so you can see that I have an unsubmit feature. And so if I've decided to make a change, or I thought I did something, or, just I freaked out, I can always click unsubmit and I can unsubmit it and bring it back. So once I submit it, I can't necessarily edit it after I've turned it in. I have to unsubmit it, fix my piece, and then I can turn it in again. There is also a private comments feature over here on the right-hand side. So I could ask her if she could just make sure. So that way myself and the teacher can just have that private comment instead of replying over here to class comment. So think of class comments as your reply all, and think of your private comments as just replying to that one person. So with that, I can also click the view assignment button. And again, I see the title, class comments, so two ways about it. Let's see, let me go back to, on the stream page, I do want to say this on the stream page, because she has selected due dates for me. On that stream page, on that left-hand side, I am seeing the upcoming assignments that are due, so I can see that this is due on March 27th. I can click to view all, and so I see that I had these two assignments that were due. I can see what has assigned, so I can filter it just a little bit, what has been returned to me for a grade, and what I'm missing. So it kind of helps students to be held accountable for the information they might be missing. What else do we want to?
Maybe show them the question, like that was the assignment, go to the question one. So they can
the question.
Sorry. A little different, yeah.
Okay, so on here, how are you doing today? This is a question that was posted, so I could view my question right here, and just how are you doing today? So Amanda says on the instructions that I have to answer and reply to two friends. So think of this in your college courses when you're doing that. It's like Blackboard chat or whatever, just that you had to submit your response and then respond to two friends. So I could do my initial response here.
That's the class comment.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. See, Amanda said that's the class comment. So this is where I have to be careful of not doing reply all and just reply. So
type your answer.
Say it again.
Above there, that says type your answer above the private comment box.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Now I can see. All right. So here's my initial answer. And then I can turn it in. Remember, it'll make you hit it twice just to verify that you want to turn it in. And then once people get going, then you can see how other students are commenting. And so then I can respond back to those students. It's always lovely to have conversations with yourself, just saying. All right, and so that's how that chat feature looks on the student side. So again, here is my initial answer, and then here is your comments for your classmates to answer. So this is where that communication piece could come in with them. All right, Amanda also has assigned a new material piece, and so I know that just because, well, it says right here, but the icons appear a little bit differently. We're not saying, hey, pop quiz on what the icons look like, but so she included a link to the Flipgrid, so I just have to come in here and then students would log in or enter the flip code. And so in the instructions, of course she didn't because it's just a practice, but you would just put in here, remember our flip grid code is, and then students would be able to enter that code and then log into Flipgrid from there, as long as you have Flipgrid set up before they do this. Anything else you'd like me to?
Covers it, right?
Okay. The only other thing is on the people side of the students will only be able to see the teachers in the classroom. They won't be able to see other students. And so there is a way for the students to email the teacher directly. And so I'm sure this has been said many times, many ways, but make sure, I know we as a district have been used to checking our Microsoft accounts are at ectorcountyisd.org. So with this taking effect, you're going to have to make sure you're checking your school Gmail accounts too, because this is the platform that students will be responding to you with. So clearly you see after I clicked on that email, the teacher, it already has her email in there. I can put, assignment, blah, 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 blah. And then I can always ask my question and then send that off to her. And so there you go. That's what the people tab looks like on the side of the students.
I think that's it for the student, right?
Yep, I think so.
There we go. All right. I'll show you here in just a second on our website where we got our YouTube channel and everything linked all in our resources on that bit.ly we shared in the chat. Okay. We're going to go back to my screen, and now we're going to look and see what the student view or the teacher view looks like after we've got some student work to look at, okay? So I'm going to go back to my classroom just to start from the very beginning. Go into that classroom. The nice thing, you can go straight, like maybe it was just that one kid, they didn't get their work turned in whenever you were looking for everybody else's stuff. The nice thing is you can go to that people tab. You can click on that student and you can look at just their work right there. The same filters that she had earlier as a student, I can filter and see if she's got any missing work. I can see what she's turned in. I can see what's been returned with a grade. Okay, so I can come here and look at her turned in work. I can click on her practice assignment here. We've got a little bubble, a little speech bubble with the number 2 by it. That's showing me that there's 2 private comments. So here's where her comment was. And I commented back. I'll show you where that is in just a second. But I was commenting back while she was going a while ago to see if it would pop up. The paperclip, of course, there's one attachment, her Google Doc. If she had added anything extra, we would have had more things right here that I would be able to click and open. So I can open her assignment right there and click on it. It's going to show me her doc right here that she was working on. I can come over here and I can look at it and I can give her grade directly right here. Here's also where you can see her private comments that she wrote. There's where the one I already did. But so you can see where that is. You can put it in. And you can post, and that's a comment that she'll have popped up, and it's nice and they're time stamped. You can go through and grade everything and put your grades in, put your comments in, give the students some feedback, and you can return each one as you go through, or it does have a drop-down option where you can return multiple submissions. A nice feature that they have is a comment bank that you can start creating comments, and that way you don't have to say the same thing over and over and over. You can add comments to the bank, and you can click copy it over and come back, and that's where you can come into these private comments and paste them in. That way, if you have specifics that you want, like it's late, you need to do this, this is a correction, you can save all of those in there and post them in a lot quicker than having to type it out to, 25 times, however many periods did we have anymore. You do have access to their docs as well when they turn them in. So if maybe it's something that you're going to turn it in and they're going to continue working on it, maybe you're going to give them a grade for that part and then you're going to have them do something else. You do have access to their docs, so you can change things around on there and edit, or you can also, anytime the little comment bubble pops up, you could just add a comment. Again, you can go to your comment bank and copy and paste as well. Okay. And it will give them, it won't notify them, but when they return it back, they can go in and look, and then on their doc, they'll see those comments there. Okay. So just some options that you can have right there. Once you have, like right now, she's my only student in this class. Once you have multiple students, it's nice. You can go to the next student directly from right here. You don't have to go back and forth. You can just scroll through the different students, or the drop down arrow will let you pull up your whole list, and you can organize it by first name, last name, or status if they've turned it in, if it's missing, or if it's graded, and you can organize it that way. Okay. So once I've got everything done and I'm ready for it to be returned and graded to her, I click the return button. Student will be notified and can check any grade you've left, double check everything. You can cancel if you need to fix it or return it. And the student's going to get notified that they have a graded assignment, and they'll be able to check and see the comments and feedback that you've given them on that. Okay. And so whenever you click on their assignment, it's nice. It opens up in a different window. And so you can go back and go back to your Google Classroom tab. And that way you can look again right here. So her other assignment that she turned in was the question that I asked. I can come in, click on it, view the details. I can see her response where she said initial comment. I can see that it's been replied to. I can come over here and say, okay, she commented and replied one other time, so I can give her half the credit. And then that's what I could even add a private comment. You only have one reply. Okay. And so she'll be able to see that comment, and that's why she can understand that she didn't get full credit, kind of a thing. Okay. And again, anytime you're doing a grade and it's a little bit different looking on a question, so that's why I wanted to point it out. You're going to look for your return button anytime you're grading something and you're finished and ready to return it to that student. Okay. And then it also does pull up the private comment section here as well, so that you could put in that you only received half credit due to one reply. And then hit return. Okay. And again, up at the top, when you see the name of your class, that's also a way to get back to your stream. And that way you can check in on everything that you have going on there. Okay. The grade tab we haven't talked about because we didn't have any assignments or any students yet. So when I go to the grade tab, this will let you pull up and see kind of in a gradebook fashion, your students, class average, what assignment it is. You've always got hot dog buttons around that you can edit and look at. So maybe you decided this assignment, something went wrong. My doc wasn't right. My instructions weren't good. The kids didn't get it. The link didn't work. Something you could delete and edit from there as well. Okay. You got options to sort it by first name or last name. And some things there. All right. I feel like we covered a lot. Did I skip anything that you can think of, Mandy?
Don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Elena asked about Flipgrid, so I'm getting a YouTube copy right now.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna stop presenting. Okay. So that's the gist of Google Classroom. There's more, and you can go deeper with it and make it your own. adding in the Flipgrid. Mandy put that link in our chat. The other at the beginning, did we put them in there? Oh, it didn't keep it as a link, but no, that's okay. I can copy and paste it too from there. That way they can see. All right. So right here, I thought it would keep it as a link and it didn't. So our bit.ly right here, it's not selecting it. So you can copy and paste it from our chat right here. This is our resource website that we've been getting together for you and for parents. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me fix that. Okay. So I'm going to copy and paste that bit.ly that's in our chat. bit.ly/ECSD remote learning. When you go there, remember this site is constantly being updated. So if there's a link there that doesn't work, it might be that we're still working on it. Or if there's anything else you see on there that we need to add, you can email us and give us suggestions on how we can improve. But there is a link here for teachers and there's a link here for parents. So you can start sending that information out to parents so that they can look and see if there's anything there that will help them. I'm going to click on for teachers. No, you're good. And you can see here's some of the communication tools we're recommending. And some video walkthroughs and text walkthroughs of how you can set those up and use those. The learning platforms we're recommending Seesaw and Google Classroom. We've got all of our tabs over here on the side that we're working on getting all this information in about how students log in. EdTech learning tools for you. So here's some more getting started with Flipgrid videos that you can use right here. These are short and sweet little intros that you can use. And then we have our YouTube channel that I'll show here in a minute has the sessions that we've been doing recorded so that you can go through and see a whole lot more. Here's some getting started with Doc Slides and Google Forms, Edpuzzle, Discovery Education, Padlet, Kahoot, quizzes. If you're wanting to record yourself, things we are recommending for recording to help with lessons or just to let your kids see your face because they're going to miss that connection. Okay. So there's Screencastify, Loom. And then if you have a camera phone, using your device to do that. And then Flipgrid is another one that we've been working on that will let you do that as well. Okay. EdTech resources. We've got some links like for distance learning. Maybe you're looking for a way to change up your assignments. Check out the information that they have there from those awesome EdTech rock stars. Our professional learning, okay? Here's our YouTube channel that you can click on and you can find all the different videos that we've been adding and we're uploading, like this one when we finish it, we'll upload and add it in. So if you don't see it yet, check back, like, subscribe, follow. Okay, our Twitter and our Facebook also, because we will be doing some Facebook Live and things like that, where we're answering questions and that come up throughout the day, kind of a thing. And of course, always check your email, read your email. Okay, we try to send out as much as we can, but not overload you. But it's there. Okay, we got some FAQs going on, so if you have any frequently asked questions, there's a section there for that. Okay. All right. I think that does it. Did we have any other questions pop up? All right, guys. Awesome, guys. It's our pleasure. We know this is our passion, okay? And we've been doing little pieces of it all year and things like that. And now it's kind of like we're gonna shove it down your throats because you need it. But we're here, and I know it can be overwhelming. And it's technology. It works. It updates. It changes. Okay, so you are educational rock stars. Okay, maybe the techie part of it is still tweaking, still working, but have grace for yourself. Have grace for your students. Call us. Email us. Okay. We are here for you.
Will you let Edith know that our class
Oh, yes, we did have the Flipgrid that's after this session. It did get canceled because we're going to do our first live Q&A. We already had a couple Flipgrids yesterday and today. Earlier, I'm sorry, it was a last minute change. Again, flexibility, love us, sorry. But we have the recorded sessions on our YouTube channel in that website. Okay. Yeah, if you scroll up in the chat, Mandy put the link that goes straight to the Flipgrid YouTube. If you're gonna, be sad that you missed that session. Sorry. All right, guys. So we'll keep it on. That way, if you have any other questions to throw in the chat, you can still do that. But I'm gonna turn my camera off and sigh and breathe and rest a little. Just get ready for our live Q&A in a couple of minutes. So we're there. Hey, guys. Bye, y'all.